week's upcoming game versus Merrimack, and then we'll open the questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand, and I will call you to ask. Coach.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thrilled to be here. It is officially game week. Thank you all for joining us. I know I speak for everyone associated with our program. We're excited to get going and looking forward to Saturday.
Hey, Mark, thanks for doing this. Just to get started, can you kind of just summarize what you think the state of the team is heading into the season, the identity you think you've created, and just the overall outlook as you get things started?
Yeah, I would say everyone in the locker room is hungry. Whether you're a player, a coach, a member of the support staff, really hungry to get the opportunity to change the narrative. That's been going on around our football program, and show the outside world that who we really are.
Coach, I know you had talked about it, but you go with C.J. Montez as QB1. What were those little things that put him over Drew DeShields for you to make that decision?
Yeah, I think experience and comfort level in, consistent execution on a day-to-day basis, throughout the situations, not only on 1st and 10, but on 3rd down in the gold zone, in the backed up coming out situations. There's not a whole lot of substitute for experience at the quarterback position. And that was the difference between him and Drew ultimately. I think both guys are going to play at some point. I know both guys are going to play at some point. I'm excited for Drew and his opportunity, but CJ has earned the right to step foot on the field first with our ones, and looking forward to the team rallying behind him.
There were some struggles on the offensive line last year. You've talked about how excited you are about that group in this upcoming season. What excites you the most about that group up front?
Yeah, the competitive depth. Our staff did a really, really good job recruiting, bringing in, young, talented players from the high school ranks, as well as, some transfer portal guys that we hit on. And, the competition everywhere has made everyone better. Everyone on this football team better. It's not only the offensive line, it's the defensive line, it's the quarterback, it's the receiver room, it's the DB room, safeties, linebackers. Competition breeds success. And at a lot of positions this training camp, we've had very competitive battles.
How cool is this opportunity for you, knowing that you're a local Northeast Ohio guy? And what do you think your nerves will be like on Saturday, being the head coach and for Kent State football and being a local guy? It's week one, not only for the players, but for you as well.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity, and you talk to these young guys, and as they're going through their college career and journey, you hope to be an example of what it looks like to take advantage of an opportunity. It's one thing to talk about it; it's another thing to do it and see it. And if I can be that example for our guys and the rest of their lives, I'm excited to do that. Being a local guy, and I know I'm going to have some support from home. My wife and children will be here, mom and dad, aunts, uncles, godparents, a lot of support in the stands. So excited to run out of the tunnel. There may be some guests running out of the tunnel with me. I can't promise that there won't be a bunch of kids running around. This is a family football program, and Coach Watson, our general manager, his son has his birthday on Saturday, so he may be one of the guys running around with the team from the sidelines. But excited to get the season going.
Coach, can you just talk about the overall growth of the team from the beginning of fall camp to maybe where you are now? What are you pleased with?
Yeah, I think one, we've developed really good habits. How we get ourselves ready to practice, how we get ourselves ready to meet, how we recover after practice, how we fuel our bodies. We've built really, really good habits. We've got to continue to develop those and continue to earn the right to go out there and compete wearing these Kent State colors. Every day rent is due, right? And just because we put work in from August 1st until now doesn't guarantee us anything but an opportunity. I'm excited to take the field with a bunch of hungry dudes on Saturday and go earn it on game day.
Can you talk about the defense a little bit? What did you see in camp? How do you feel about that group as a whole, heading into week 1?
Yeah, again, competitive depth at a lot of positions. Certainly up front, but at the second and third level as well. Linebacker room is as deep as we have on our team. I think the interior D linemen, you're going to see 7 or 8 guys play throughout the course of the season. And Coach Key, I cannot say enough about Cherokee Valeria and the organization that he has brought to our defensive side of the football. He's got, whether it's Aloha Friday or his Sharks, or he's got the guys, chomping at the bit and excited to play. So I'm excited to cut them loose on game day.
That kind of leads into my next one. With 3 new coordinators.
3, yeah.
You being,
yeah.
If you kind of look like how you're going to make all that work and mesh and calling the plays, to getting everything together, when you get out there, it's organized chaos.
Absolutely.
With everybody new, how is that going to work itself out?
No, we've practiced the heck out of it. Just like, a member of the team, any coach going into a new position has to practice those things. So whether it's, myself making post-game speeches, practice that. Coach Patterson calling plays offensively, Coach Key on defense, the communication from the sideline to the box. All of these things have been run through and practiced. So when we get out there Saturday, it won't be the first time that we've done it. Certainly going to be some challenges that I'm not ready for and I'm not prepared for, and I'm excited to get to those, meet those obstacles head on and see them as opportunities, right? And but just like any other player on the team, our staff has practiced the new roles. So, you'll see great communication on all levels, whether it's from me to the coordinators or coordinators to their sides of the ball. I think we're built on clear and concise communication and having clear expectations for everyone going into each game, each week.
My last one for you would be, can you just give us your thoughts on Merrimack a little bit?
Really good football team. Finished 5-6 a year ago. Mike Giannetti heading into his second season. He's got a group that understands his expectations, and you can tell that his coordinators are aligned. They've certainly faced their challenges, as have we and every other Group of 5 team or FCS team with graduation and portal and all that, and just like us, his challenges, I'm sure, build a great team again. Got a great quarterback. It always starts there. This kid Pereira is a stud. He can beat you throwing it. He can beat you running it. You don't see a lot of repeated mistakes with this group. They've obviously done a really, really good job as a staff developing their team, adding from the recruiting ranks. The other quarterback you'll see is a guy, Avion Smith, who won a conference championship in the MAC during his career at Miami. They have depth defensively on the defensive line, on the offensive line. They're level 2 players. They're linebackers, an absolute stud. Number 0, Sims, impacts the game in a lot of ways. They've got a Youngstown kid who's a transfer running back who's going to be excited to come home and put on a show for his family and friends. And, it's a really, really good football team. We're going to have to earn it.
Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Nate?
Hey, Mark. Just in terms of stepping into the head coaching role, like how do you gauge your readiness for it and your own internal kind of evaluation? How ready are you for this role?
Yeah, I think I was born for this. I'm the oldest of whatever 50-something cousins. I've been calling plays since I was a sophomore in college. I view myself as a natural born leader. I'm sure there's going to be things that come up that, you're not going to be prepared for, but I feel like, I'm built for this. I feel like I was raised for this, and, I'm excited for the opportunity. I think, just like anything else, there's certainly going to be nerves or anxiety. I was a guy as a player that threw up before every game, so I don't know if I'm going to do that and need my college center to come punch me in the gut. Joe Wida, if you're listening, be ready. But there's going to be those things. But just like anything else, you stay planted and be where your feet are and meet obstacles and opportunities as they come.
Mark, I know you talked about the opportunity several times, but just in terms of the idea that, you know, you are the guy getting the shot at this, without a guarantee beyond this season, and other people wanting this job, even, you know, a Kent State legend publicly saying so. And so, like, how do you view the competition of, you know, your shot and kind of your chance to show that you should be considered a guy beyond this season?
Yeah, it's a 7-month interview, right? It's a I don't have to sweat being ready for a 4-hour sit down with an athletic director or a president, and I get 7 months to show what I can do and we can do. And competition is life. I've been dealing with competition since I was knee high to a grasshopper, man. I went to St. Ed's, and if you don't compete, you're gonna get left behind. And same thing at Fordham. Whether that's as a player, as a person, you've got to be continually improving yourself. And that doesn't stop when you leave the academic world, right? It doesn't stop when you leave high school or college. There's a million people that want to be the head coach at Kent State, I promise. There's a million people that wanted to be the starting quarterback at Fordham, that wanted to be the starting quarterback at St. Ed's. Competition's inevitable in this game and in life. And if you're not ready for it and competing with yourself and striving for excellence and the most out of yourself on a day-to-day basis, on a second-to-second basis, you're missing the opportunity. You're missing the boat.
Who's a player this season you expect to make the biggest leap from compared to last season?
That was on the roster last year?
Yeah.
I think Dusty Morrell, our center number 54. I think Dusty's an NFL player. He's started and played games at every position outside of center on the offensive line throughout his career here, and the growth he's made in the weight room, first spring that he's been fully healthy, and been able to train in the weight room, the strength gains that he's made, from a leadership perspective, that is his room. He's a guy that I know you may not notice, as being a splash guy because he's an offensive lineman, but he is a calming force and without question the leader of our offense.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.